Well, one of the most beautiful things that we see and that we as humans have the ability is to be creative.
Mhm.
And that emerges from friction caused by inefficiencies.
Okay, if you need to adapt and find a solution, we have to come up with something creative,
Yes.
something new, something
Mhm.
novel. We have to find a way to equalize that system.
And struggles and imperfections seem to be a way where we find meaning. It like makes meaning in our lives.
But all the great stories, Jason.
all of them.
Every great movie.
Every movie. Yeah.
Yeah, see, there we go. It's the struggles required. We have to do it as human beings. Do not hate your struggle. Look at
Yeah.
it as a beautiful gift of a learning experience.
Well, you can walk out in nature and see that's the law in perfection. Like watching the struggle of the animals, watching the struggle of the root system in the tree,
It's important.
trying to work around the big rock to find its stability.
The system needs stress and strain.
Yes.
It's required. And then it'll always work. But the overall macro of the micro stresses and strains
Mhm.
finds a dynamic equilibrium.
But don't you think there's growth through struggle and that adversity fosters resilience and innovation?
Absolutely it does. Because if we didn't have it, there's nothing to learn from. If there was no clawback, if there was no tension, then how do you know how to relax?
Yes.
How do you know how to progress if you don't have the opposite? So again, you need to have those opposites.
And bottlenecks prevent stasis. So you have this dynamic equilibrium because you don't want to have it where it's just, you can't have an active system with no ripples.
No, you can't.
The ripples create the energy.
And the word equilibrium can't exist without disequilibrium,
Yes.
right? They have to have their counter. And a lot of these small micro counters have a big macro equilibrium that they're set out by. But again, we're on a closed system. We're in this programmatic learning of consciousness and also evolution of our DNA along
Mhm.
with all the other flora and fauna. So it's our goal, even looking at Bohm's law, identify the things early, act upon it, learn, be wise,
Mhm.
and try to equalize all these elements.
Self-awareness, spiritual evolution.
And it's
all that.
huge. And just remember, as you learn those things, you become a conduit for equalization of all these other unstable things around you.
Well, you can optimize the system too through your actions.
Simply,
We always go to the negative side, like shitting in the river, but there's a positive side too. You could teach other humans not to shit in the river.
perfect.
And then if they don't, guess what you've done? You've
Guys,
optimized the system.
Look what we learned. No upriver shitting.
Exactly.
And you could say, for instance, even a simple context, say you're screaming at me because you're mad.
Yeah.
If I don't respond,
Yeah, it doesn't.
I've equalized the system.
Yes.
I've netted it out. I'm listening
Mhm.
instead of shouting, right? Equalization.